Okie dokie. Hi guys. Good morning. It's Emily. It's Sunday morning here in California. And this has kind of become one of the things that I've started to enjoy doing, which is I get the Sunday paper and I get the real estate section out. And like this is totally Sunday morning, just hello, wearing the hoodie. And the front page of this is the San Francisco Chronicle. The front page of this is sponsored content. And I actually think that pretty much the whole thing is sponsored content because it's the same people every week. And but then I love seeing this sound off section, which says, how do realtors create an effective marketing strategy for a listing? So that's today's burning question, right? And it's really funny because they have these realtors that are here in this little section talking about, hey, what do they do? And I literally think this is ads, but I think it's, there's nothing wrong with that. We've got all sorts of other stuff in here, like all the local guys are putting ads in, and they've got QR codes, and there's cool stuff to see when you're when you're looking at, well, what do different media do for you? And HubScotch Interactive is a real estate marketing agency. We do services like photography. We do virtual tours. We experiment with all sorts of other bleeding edge technologies like augmented reality. And actually, what's been so interesting to me is that even though we love all these things, like as much of a sort of challenge as it is, we're kind of limited by what the MLS offers. So the multiple listing service may only have one field for a URL. So maybe you put in your property website, or maybe you put in your virtual tour. So as much as we want to push and bring new media and technology to our clients to help them showcase properties in a new way, there are certain parameters that are just in place that don't change quickly. And I think that we overlook that when we are talking about marketing. And therefore, it's actually platforms such as, the big ones that you all know about, Zillow and Trulia, et cetera, that can more quickly kind of develop and I think iterate on some of these ideas because they are their own system and their own platform. So, okay, so I'll just look at this and we're going to go through it. So today's burning question, that's what you tuned in for, is how do you develop a marketing plan for a listing? So our first up, we have Karen Starr at the Grub Company and Brenda Schaefer. So they say, all right, answer. Successful marketing these days primarily involves a captivating presentation on numerous internet real estate sites like Zillow and Redfin. Yes, +1 for them for mentioning that. And social media outlets such as Facebook and Instagram. All right, we already know right away that this is a total double down on social media and the assumption that everybody is getting their content and learning about listings from social media, which I think is really interesting. When you're in search mode, yeah, you're going to be on Zillow and you're going to be on Redfin. And you're going to set those saved searches so that they meet your criteria, and then you'll get notified when something actually meets it. So it's not just being on Zillow and Redfin, but it's making sure that the buyers are engaging with those platforms. Okay, preparation for presentation usually includes painting. Yes, professional staging and garden cleanup to freshen the look. Totally. That's super important. Our skilled tradespeople. Hey, that's me. Well, not really. I'm not like a trades person, but I am a services person. Are a pivotal part of our pre-marketing team. Our in-house award-winning photographer has the eye and ability to capture each home's unique beauty on her engaging photographs. Okay, I love that it's a woman photographer, her engaging photographs, and in-house and award-winning. So you already know at that point that the Grub Company is employing a larger marketing team than probably many other brokerages, because just if they have enough money to have an in-house marketing and in-house photographer, that means that that's not the same as like a person who's independent, who is maybe at a team that's 10 agents or under. And so for agencies or brokerages that have probably 30 agents on their, on their team, then in-house photography makes so much sense, because then you can either split the cost with the agent, or maybe even the brokerage takes over the cost, but they get consistency for their brand as a brokerage. So that's another kind of topic that we could go into. And then, of course, award winning. Well, that's awesome. That's cool that there's somebody is winning awards. There's not a lot of places that award real estate photography. So I'm curious what the awards are, which would be interesting to me, because I feel like to get awards these days, you kind of have to pay to apply to, to some sort of award contest. So interesting. I want to know what that is. Maybe I'll follow up with them. So our property videos have been an instrumental asset in marketing our listings globally, reaching thousands of viewers. All are showcased on our property site specific websites. But okay, that's cool that they're showcased on property site specific websites, and videos are great because there's no hosting fee. They can be engaging. They can be on YouTube. They can be in so many places. But, a site specific website, I think has a very limited reach. I think that unless you have SEO kind of churning away at trying to bring in those leads, and you've upgraded to, say, pay for a secure URL, like on sites like Rela and other ones like that, you have to actually pay to upgrade for that secure, securing the URL. So not the domain. The domain is what you pay for, like having, 123mainstreet.com. But then to secure that is also another upgrade. And then that also helps you in search. But I have this sense that the only time people are actually going to that property URL is when they are standing in front of the property and they see it on the sign writer, or if you've put that in the link on the MLS as your one available unbranded tour field, right? You can put in one thing. So, hey, if you can put the catch-all there as the URL for the property, and then all of the other media that you've created goes into that and is thought out, then I think that's great. So let's see. Your carefully chosen realtor will be instrumental in assembling your team of professionals so that a well-planned marketing campaign gets the successful sales results you desire. How can we help you? Okay, so I know it's an ad because they say, how can we help you at the end? But definitely good. Like the social media part and the video is really, really important to this realtor. Let's go. Let's move on. Next guys are Kevin Ho and Jonathan McNary. And they say, although it may seem as easy as putting out a for sale sign in front of a property, it's never that easy. Marketing a property successfully is something that requires planning, coordination, and effort. In a high-priced market like San Francisco, to be successful, each property requires care and consideration. The most basic marketing step is just getting a property listing into the MLS, which disseminates it to all the online outlets. That's true. Everything syndicates through the MLS. And in fact, when I've been on Zillow and some of the photos were like duplicated, or it didn't like come in the right order, my clients would then go back into the MLS, update it, and then it's sort of, in real time, it more or less updates within like 30 minutes usually. Then all that stuff will kind of replicate through the systems. So it is true that you can kind of just do it in one place, and then it's through API calls, all of that media and all that data lands in these other places. And for the photographers, that's a whole other story. We'll get into that another time. But let's see, make sure that you guys can hear me. Yeah. Okay. I hope you can hear me. Anyway, let's see. So, okay. The MLS requires that one photo is all. Okay, and for some agents, that's all they'll ever do. I've never seen an agent do one photo. But for us, going into the MLS, it's just one part of a comprehensive process that focuses on meeting client goals. Because I like that they're putting the client goals first. And, that's very important because most of our sellers are willing to invest in their property to maximize the sale. Our plan focuses on presentation. Long before the MLS, we will have crafted a detailed property preparation and marketing plan with our clients to ensure their space puts its best foot forward. This usually involves painting. Okay, so two people saying painting, staging at minimum. Professional photos, 3D tour, property video, and website are next, along with tailored marketing text. Last, we work to ensure the on-site experience is positive and upbeat. Okay, cool, Kevin and Jonathan. So, um, yeah, the sellers are going to be paying for all of those sort of touch-ups and upgrades to the property, and those can range anywhere from a few $1,000s to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And we work with stagers like Nurture Source Designs and um, other staging companies that have a whole system around getting properties ready for listing. And so I think it's really interesting because a lot of folks will do that. They'll sidestep that process. But I feel like this is a place where you can really see the ROI and so the return on investment. If you put more money in to get the property ready for listing, even if some of that is perhaps even like the realtor wants it, but the seller doesn't want it. And the realtor, sometimes I've even seen them pay for things out of pocket just because they believe so much that it's going to help. And the sellers will push back. But in the end, it's like you got to find a compromise. And of course, everybody wants the experience to be positive and upbeat. However, I've never seen people more stressed than right before photography because everybody's just like rushing and it's all last minute. And especially right now, because of all of these global supply chain issues, maybe even a particular ingredient in paint is not available. So the paint you wanted isn't ready yet and isn't available. And so you have to rethink your plan. So all of that is just to say that it's a lot. So I'm going to wrap up here in just a couple more minutes, but so much to say about these topics because we deal with it every day. Okay, so again, if you're just tuning in, the question is, how do you develop a marketing plan for a listing? And this is just 3 brief comments about that topic from realtors in the San Francisco Bay Area. So last one is Walish Chain from Metis Real Estate. And he says this. He says, a marketing plan is so much more than just a standardized checklist in our world. Yes, it's true. The marketing never stops. First and foremost, the primary goal for our sellers is to sell their property for the highest dollar amount in the shortest possible time. To accomplish this, our media team is tasked with capturing the property with magazine quality photography. Yes, none of these are my clients, by the way. I just want to make sure y'all know that. I don't know these people at all. And photography and cinematic video. Okay, in addition to simply showcasing the property's best attributes, we want to weave in a story that will connect the potential buyer. This could be the lifestyle the property or location provides. That's very important for San Francisco. But also the happy memories the seller has created within. Okay, that is a questionable strategy because sometimes the sellers do want to be a part of the content and adding little flavoring the content with, oh, well, my grandmother had this apple tree, and so this is the recipe that our family has used for generations for applesauce. Or I've seen, I mean, that's like a real example. But not everybody has a story like that to tell about the property. So what are you going to do if you don't have that story? Anyway, so he says, once this is created, it is pushed out to every possible web portal. Well, the MLS will do that for you. But in addition to digital marketing, we leverage signage to create movement at the property and grand open houses that are packed full of eager buyers and high in energy. Great marketing creates interest, which produces the offers we're looking for. I think that is all super important. I think that the web portals, the signage, the open houses and the signage, I think that's really important. I think also, talking about, we call them in the commercial real estate world like location amenities, but those are the things that we are certainly using in terms of neighborhood amenities to showcase for the residential stuff. So like if you are on Piedmont Avenue in Oakland, or you're near Piedmont Avenue in Oakland, you're going to go out and take photographs of some of the restaurants and some of the cool things in the area that people would have as part of their new neighborhood if they move there. And also keep in mind that people are coming at your listing and they may be moving from out of state, they may be moving from somewhere else. Maybe San Franciscans don't know what's happening in the East Bay and they're a little apprehensive because they've lived their whole life in the city and they're looking for suburban environment or more, sort of neighborhoody feel. And that is going to greatly impact your marketing, or it should, because then you can include things like neighborhood photos, videos, and talk about what all that neighborhood has to offer, because you cannot assume that they know what it's all about. So that is what these folks are saying. I would love to hear your feedback and see what you guys think. I see a huge trend right now in virtual tours. Like I hear a lot that Matterport tours are something that my realtors are less excited about. And so we are looking at doing a lot more video. And I just wonder what the next year is going to bring in terms of marketing trends. And I think that so comments from realtors 1 and 3 were totally like video, cinematic video. Even realtors 2 are going with the MLS staging photos, 3D tour, property video also. But let's dive into what those property videos look like and see what the expectations are around what are you willing to spend for a property video, because I can tell you that photos overnight is an expectation here. Also 3D tour and virtual tour floor plans even next day is an expectation, but video does not work like that. At least video that, unless a person is working, nonstop, it takes a lot more time to produce a video that's well done. So I think there's a lot to learn, and I really appreciate these guys for always, even if it's their ad, for putting in comments in the paper. So there you have it. San Francisco real estate circular from October 17th. Thanks, guys. Leave your comments in the bottom. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe. Always let me know what you think, and I will continue to put out new videos. I will continue to let you know my thoughts. I have speaking events coming up. I will be talking about those soon in November, where I'll be meeting with other professional real estate or other real estate professional photographers, and so I'll be talking about those things soon. But in the meantime, I think I'll probably start doing this kind of reaction video every weekend. This is kind of fun, and I like to see what people have to say. So have a good one. Remember to subscribe. Thank you so much, and I'll see you here next time. Bye. Yes.